Well, hello there ladies and gents, and welcome along to the next AMC adventure. I've been on the road since yesterday evening, quick little stopover in Berlin. We've now got a bit of a blast of motorway across the German-Polish border, gonna tick along far eastern corner of the Czech Republic, then snake my way across Slovakia before on the Hungarian-Romanian border we meet up with none other than the AMC famous Ian, and we are then going to be heading into the amazing looking twistiness of Romania. So finally the Aprilia Tuareg 660 gets to taste some proper twisties. So strap yourselves in, get yourself a nice warm cuppa, and let's go and find Ian. After almost 8 hours of motorway, it's finally time to head into those hills, try and scrub some rubber off of the side of the tyres. So what I thought was a really interesting twisty route, turns out it was just snaking through an endless string of little towns and villages. Added to that, it's freshly crafted down with rain here, and it feels very much like I'm catching up with it. This is a lay-by. Heading into the wilderness. Look at that, 10 miles further on, the road's completely dry, blue sky, just in time to get stuck behind a tanker. Right then, I think that is finally the last of the never-ending string of towns and villages here in Poland. So now it's a squiggly dash across the border into the Czech Republic, and then hopefully a bendy bolt across the Czech Republic into Slovakia, and hopefully to the campsite to get tiddlies in bed before 10. There we go, into the Czech Republic. Another country off the list. Like it, this is what I've been waiting for. This makes the motorway worth it. It's great to see that the Tuareg still handles even when the panniers on the back, the big Hepco and Becker 40 litres, are fully loaded with all of my camping gear, because this is a camping trip in case I hadn't already mentioned that. And she still handles like she's on rails. Look at that, the Garmin's completely lost all satellites. That has never happened to me before. Skynet finally struck. Oh no, it was safe for another day. There's our first closed road due to roadworks. So Czech Republic has the same problem as Germany then. It's a road that definitely makes me grateful of the choice to bring an adventure bike on this adventure. Oh, but that's the first set of Czech twisties checked off the list. Sorry for the pun, everybody from the Czech Republic. I'm sure you're sick of hearing it. Slovensko. We are in to the fourth country of the day. Here we are, finally at the place that I'm hopefully going to be calling home for the night. Slničkaly. Get checked in, ask if they've got room for a little one, and if they have, find that little one, beat him up, steal his spot. Good morning and welcome to AMC Cribs. Let me show you my home. Here we can see first of all the bedroom area and lounge area and
hallway, and this morning actually the bathroom as well, because I couldn't be asked to go for a shower, so I gave myself a nice baby white bed bath in the luxury of my capacious accommodations. Here's the hallway, and then we come to the kitchen. The entirety of my cooking utensils. All right then, breakfast time. And for this trip, for the sake of portability, I'm enlisted the services of this little Hisbit hexamine stove. Fuel's in there, thing fits in your pocket. You just take a fuel tablet, some fire, and we're cooking on gas. Well, not quite, but you know. And off we go. Here's a breakfast I prepared earlier, every day of the trip. This is 2 heaped spoonfuls of porridge oats, half a scoop of protein powder, teaspoonful of chia seeds, teaspoonful of, I've forgotten what they're called in English, teaspoonful of linseeds, and that's everything I need. A nice tasty breakfast, 1 scoop a day. I'm using my titanium spork, keep it moving. The fire is out, but there we go. In 10 minutes, a nice bowl of protein-rich, carb-loaded, fibre-filled snot, just like they have on The Matrix. Yeah, that's the shit.
Good morning, everybody. Not so peaceful night here under the shadow of this mini Yosemite-looking rock formation here at Sunny Rocks in Slovakia. I was woken this morning by the sun at about 6 o'clock and massive trucks steaming by on this road, which wouldn't be so bad, except I was kept awake last night by some bellend, well, a pair of bellends at the very least, smashing about on a guitar and a drum kit. Great stuff. You come to a campsite to sleep, and that's what you get. So, Sunny Rocks, I'm afraid I cannot recommend you. I'm sure that was probably just a one-off, but the fact that nobody bothered to do anything about it, God, I'm such a granddad. I shall be writing a letter to my MP. Mark my words. Where do you live? Fuck off. Lost satellite reception again. The trees in Eastern Europe must be thicker than everywhere else. And I don't mean they can't write good. There we go, that is the border between Slovakia and Hungary, and because it looks like it's about to start shedding it down with rain and I need to don my leg condoms, plus, and I know it's a bad joke, I'm extremely hungry. I'm going to go and grab some food somewhere, and we will be back after these short messages from our sponsors. Ta-ta! Right then, fed and watered. The sky seems to have finished watering as well by the look of it, I hope at least. So now it's time to go and check out some potentially harrowing but definitely H2O covered Hungarian twisties. Where's this bloke up to? You can't be surveying the conditions of the road because I can save you a day's work, mate. They're shit. I've seen smoother pebble beaches. Holy shit balls. I think this one's just a couple of good freezes away from a gravel track. Hopefully the cameras are even able to see anything because I stupidly put an ND filter on. Didn't realise I was going to be riding through Mordor. Jesus, there's more pothole than road. Don't go any further. I'm just going to take this lens off because that's just a waste. But I can see why the Garmin decided that this was going to suddenly take 2 hours longer than going on the motorway for roughly the same distance. You really wouldn't want to do this at any kind of pace on a sports bike, I'll tell you that much. The suspension on the Tuareg here is doing an absolutely bang up job. I mean, I can feel that it's rough, but there's nothing hard or jarring. That's what she said. Garmin is completely lost now. It's lost the track. It's lost where it is. There we go. You get a little bit off the beaten track. I thought they were supposed to be for proper adventuring. But in any case, gave the Tuareg a good bumpy shakedown. So now we've got a little bit of rural Hungary and then a couple of hours on the motorway, and then we should find the other part of our party. That is a house. Very excitingly, I've just stopped to check Ian's location. I thought he'd be on the motorway behind me because this was the motorway he was on earlier on. Turns out he's on a parallel road about, I don't know, 30 kilometers that way, and he's slightly ahead, so to put the hammer down, otherwise I'm never going to hear the end of it. Right, I'll see you on the other side. And there we go, just like that. We are in Romania, the final border crossing in this direction on this trip. And for the first time ever in all of my history of travelling on the motorbike, I had to actually show my motorbike documents. So they don't let any old riffraff into this country, only the finest top-class riders. Ones with paperwork. And paperwork isn't a euphemism for a bribe, by the way. Well then, an interesting turn of events. We planned to meet up in a town called Oradea, or however you may choose to pronounce it, just over the Romanian border, and it turns out in this area the only campsite we can find costs 25 quid per tent. So we've made the executive decision to jib out tonight because the weather looks shit anyway, and they look shit for the morning as well, and get ourselves a room in a pensionia. So the roughy-tufty biker campers are going to a hotel, and the amazing thing is this hotel costs 32 euros for both of us. No brainer. Would you look at that, because I drove straight past it. He bloody beat me to it.
Okay. That's a good time, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, let's get checked in. Well, there we go. Thanks very much. Pensionia Vidra, just over 30 euros for the night. But when we got here, they don't do food, sadly. And I said, let's just quickly cook some food with our camping stuff here on the porchway. Sadly, the committee, i.e. Ian, wasn't happy with that. He thought it was too faffy, so we put all of our bike gear back on, rode up the road to the little town there. All the restaurants were closed, so we had to come back and cook food with our camping stoves on the porch. Well, we've stopped here in this lay-by, a mere 20 miles from where we started, so that Ian can put his waterproof trousers on because it's spitting a little bit. You worried you're not going to catch all of the secretions from your vagina otherwise? You made of sugar or what? There we go, rubber trousers are donned. But yeah, I was just saying, if I'd have known the weather was going to be this shit, I would have just worn the rocker trousers. That was an error. Hopefully the next couple of days will be different. It's an absolute stonker of a road, isn't it? This would be amazing in the dry. The tyres I've got on are the Pirelli Scorpion Rally STRs, and they're surprisingly good. Tell you what's annoying me a bit now is it's 11 degrees and I haven't got any heated grips, and I didn't bring any winter gloves. Oh, the Bavaries. But that's just you, typical Sagittarius. Scarisawara, you can get a cream for that, can't you? Back over the Bavaries again. It's a bit bigger now. Wild cow. You see that? Look at that, the two different coloured waters mixing there. Well, I never thunk it, but we had to stop to put some more layers on because it's bloody freezing. But we are both now Michelin manned up, as many layers as we can possibly fit underneath the rucker jackets, and onwards. Friendly chap. That sheep is a dog. Ooh, an angry dog. Right, that's us on the motorway. Let me just switch on my heated grid. Oh, shit. I remember. Cold hands it is then. This is not the approach I'd expected. Right, here we go. We found camping for the night, so we'll get checked in and then we'll have a tent pitching race.
Ooh. Nope.
Well, we are ready to go and hit the star of the event, the Transfagarasan, but here's our little camp. Just took a tarp up last night to give ourselves some shelter because it was hammering it down all bloody night. Yeah, the wet camping is done, so now let's go and take care of the wet dreams. Alright then, so this is it. The reason we came all this way, after Ian very randomly one day just sent me a picture of the Transfagarasan and said, that looks alright, I'm going to go and ride that. And then as fate would have it, I quit my job and then found out that Ian had already planned to go there the very next week after my job finished. So obviously I tagged along. Hashtag self-inviting. Aww. Ian says he adds to that, hashtag no invitation required. What a gent. But the weather looks questionable, particularly over those mountains, and the funny thing is that's exactly where we're going. But compared to last night, I'll take questionable any day. Who would think that this unassuming little roundabout that looks like it could be in Milton Keynes leads off to arguably one of the best roads in the world? But yeah, the challenge is, as we were sat there, we've got the Senna RT1 and ST1 Spider intercom, so we were there on the open mesh. Two Germans on BMW GSs went by and suddenly I could hear them talking. So we're going to have to go and try and see if we can interrupt their conversation again. Also, the time is now 8 o'clock, which hopefully means there's not going to be too much traffic up there. And obviously the shitty weather is hopefully going to also play in our favour in terms of traffic. But word on the street is that if you don't get there early, the traffic can turn it into a moving car park. I've once again opted for optimism and gone without the waterproof trousers, mainly to try and dry my damp crotch out. I don't want to be overly optimistic, but it looks like there's sunshine through there. Like, all along, this mountain ridge was holding the rain this side, and when we get the other side, it's going to be like paradise, riding into the Garden of Eden. Oh then, well, here we go. Here begins over 100 kilometers of hair-raising twisties created by the former communist Romanian leader as a potential escape route from the advancing Russians. Sounds like the start of a great film. There's the chance we'll see rain, there's the chance we'll see potholes, there's the chance we'll see a bit of gravel, and there's also the chance we might see the odd bear roaming around. So this is it, the first hairpin coming up, and then we are on the Transfagarasan. Oh, sorry, technically we're on it already, but you know what I mean, just trying to be dramatic, innit? Stay off the white lines if I were you. Oh, now the fog. The fog sets in. What a lovely view. Oh, that's incredible. Oh, that's so beautiful. Na Mädels, alles in Ordnung? Didn't drive 2,000 kilometers to touch it up. Bloody hell, this is pea soup, isn't it? This is ridiculous. I think the eeriest tunnel I've ever been in. If that doesn't scream horror film, I don't know what does. Oh my god, sunshine! Look at that! Look at that! Oh my word. Yeah, I was only half kidding. It really was being held back by the mountains. Scenery is pretty spectacular, isn't it? Like, I would say potentially more spectacular than at the Trollstigen because it just seems bigger. I feel a bit sorry for that dude that's coming down on the sports bike that we overtook. It's going to be a rough ride for him. Ooh. Nice pothole on the corner there. I was about to ask you, what have you got your suspension set on? I've got mine set on springy. The boingers go boing. Oh, you're on rider mode. What, so for when you're riding? What are the other modes? Washing up mode, sofa mode. Yeah, this is why, isn't it? This is why you get a motorbike. And this is also why you get an adventure bike. I mean, I'm the biggest convert of all. Don't give a shit what adventure bike it is, but this road surface is still incredibly enjoyable. On the Honda, this would have been a bit of a ball killer. But on the big springers of this adventure bike, it's an absolute joy. Hello? Hello? What's up with your intercom? Is it off?
No.
I can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
I think it's dead. It's full of water. There's water in there.
Oh, is it?
Maybe it just needs to dry out.
Quick little stop there to wipe the lens and strain the potatoes. Put the gloves out in the sun for a while so they're almost dried. And a bear popped out the woods. I think we all know what he was doing in there, but yeah, he came out to say hello and see if we had any food. So obviously we didn't give him anything. Sounds mean, but they need to not think they can get grub from tourists, because otherwise they're just going to get hit by the traffic. We've also had a bit of an issue in that Ian's Senna has gotten wet and stopped working, so hopefully that will dry out in the sun as well for the next half an hour and we'll be able to get some communication back on again. Not that you can hear him anyway, because in case you hadn't already gathered, he bought himself a Drift Ghost XL, mostly because the battery life is up to 9 hours, which was absolutely perfect for something that he could charge once and forget about. Plus, it came with a microphone, so we were finally going to be able to have Ian's voice involved in the videos. But it turns out that the microphone is defective, just doesn't work, and yeah, just doesn't give any audio. So that's incredibly disappointing, and the reason why Ian, again, sounds like a box full of sound effects. Right, fella. Actual bear, actually in the actual wild, just chilling out next to the twisties. I mean, if I was a bear, I'd probably want to chill out next to the twisties as well. Would that be more of a torture, being so close to the twisties, hearing the bikes screaming past, and never having the opposable thumbs required for throttle control? Looks like this road really has got it all. It's like Lake Como, the Stelvio, the Trollstigen, a little bit of the San Bernardino. And the fact that it's got the incredible serpentines and twistiness up the top without any horrible sharpness of the Stelvio, but then miles and miles of rolling, sweepy, switchy-backy, natchety, quick stuff. Yeah, awesome. Right, chaps. Yeah, this place is impressive. There we go then, that is the entirety of the Transfagarasan from north to south, and I think you already know that we're also going to see it from south to north. But first of all, we need to find a cup of tea and a little bit of scran. Okay, let's try this again with sunshine and clean lenses. There's the Nationals.
I ain't afraid of the dark, 'cause Once you let the light in, you won't see the beautiful stars shining down from afar. No, I ain't afraid of the dark.
What an incredible valley though, eh?
I don't mind the rain, bringing life back. We can breathe again when dealing with the pain. No, I don't mind the rain.
Epic, absolutely epic.
And ooh, that's the way it goes. Life will teach you what you need to know. And ooh, like a river flows, life will take you where you need to go.
But the funny thing is, when we came down earlier this morning, there were way less bears. And it's like they were still just lying in. They hadn't started work yet. What? It's 9 o'clock. I've got to go and clock on the street shift, don't I? Let's see if I can turn me some tricks, get some biscuits.
Getting old don't bother me, 'cause with eyes that spin through life, it's so much easier to see who I am and who I wanna be. No, getting old don't bother me. Truth can be a bitter pill, but it'll do you right and set you free the way a lie never will. Like climbing up the steepest hill, but truth can be a bitter pill. And ooh, that's the way it goes. Life will teach you what you need to know. And ooh, like the river flows, life will take you where you need to go. You what you need to know. Ooh, like a river flows, life will take you where you need to go. And ooh, that's the way it goes. Life will teach you what you need to know. And ooh, like a river flows, life will take
That is spectacular, isn't it? This looks so ominous. Look at that cloud just billowing over the peaks. Yeah, it's probably still very wet on the other side, isn't it? Back into the horror tunnel. Who knows what will be awaiting us at the end. I've never in my life before seen a cloud trying to get through a tunnel. Jesus. Madness. It's like we've just popped out at Everest Base Camp or something. This is insane though. I don't know if I've ever known it to be this extreme. I mean, that tunnel was what, maybe 1,000 meters long? And it's like two different worlds from one side to the other. Glorious sunshine to living in a cloud. I read the Chronicles of Narnia a couple of times and I'm pretty sure that wardrobe wasn't big enough to fit a Triumph Tiger 1200 through it. Must be confusing when animals that look like clouds are running around bumping into each other in a cloud. this is absolutely worlds apart from what we saw this morning, isn't it? Oh dear, definitely stay off the white line now. Oh, you can smell it! It smells like polyfiller. 2 babies. Wow. Were they standing back because they were looking, or were they scared to go back to their car? If a mama bear came between you and your car, I think you'd just give her the keys, wouldn't you? Would you look at that? We've been up and down the Transfagarasan twice there and back, and we haven't exactly been touching it up. Yet this amazing machine that has got 68.1 miles per gallon. What have you got, Ian? What are you talking about? Exactly, I have not been touching it up. I've been groping it with intent. I think you misunderstand my meaning of touching it up. Have you never heard that? Come on, get in there, don't touch it up. Yeah, just don't touch it up is a German one. Nice one. 58.2, so I've got more than 10 miles to the gallon more than you. Well, there we go, that is the end of what is critically acclaimed to be one of the best roads, possibly the best road in the world. And Ian has already told me, after much interrogation, that he thinks of all the roads that he's ridden, it is the best. I have to say, I think I pretty much agree, just because the road never ends. It just keeps going. But here's the interesting thing. You can only judge this based on the roads that you've actually ridden. And tomorrow we're riding another road, the Transalpina, which is actually higher and longer. Sounds like the better looking older brother of Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, anyway, we're going to ride that tomorrow. And we'll see, because I actually think it could be the underdog of this little brotherhood and could perhaps trump the Transfagarasan as the best road in Romania. So tune in shortly and see how we get on the Transalpina, hopefully in glorious sunshine all day long. So it's goodbye from me, it's goodbye from him. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Goodbye! I sincerely hope that that is not rain coming our way. Can you remember where it was? Campsite.